Okay, well,
2nd of January, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos, digression into embalming. And Mayor, happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
okay, yeah, it's your birthday. Many more, but
Amen. Thank
It
you.
was yesterday, right?
Pardon?
It was yesterday?
It was actually yesterday. Kaf Tevet. Yeah.
Also told.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, let's see, what are we doing here?
okay, let's see. We left off in paragraph 5, I believe. Yes.
We finished 4. Yeah. So I guess we
Yeah, I agree. 5.
Okay, very
starting
good. So
5.
let's see. Who would like to take over and do a little reading?
I would like to. Uh,
Okay, go ahead, please.
Ibarra, Diva,
If, if, Ivra means like in truth.
Ivra is in truth.
Yeah, Ivra means in truth.
And what's Diva?
It's the hakasav shlishi v'achriya. The truth is that we'll bring a third pasuk, and we will be able to decide the question based on the third pasuk.
Ah. Vayikra Vahu Mikra Mifarash. And this pasuk will explain Lama Eskol Gam Shnechem Yom Echad. This one will explain why Eskol is the heights.
Well, no, okay. This is a pasuk. If you remember, first of all, just to refresh your memories, what are we discussing here? We're discussing there's a Gemara that Rav Yochanan mentions that Yaakov Avinu was not made. Yaakov Avinu did not die. On the other hand, the pasuk says they had eulogies, and they had the embalmment, and there was the funeral procession, right? Ostensibly there was the burial in the Maras Machpelah, right? So apparently the pasuk seems to be indicating that Yaakov Avinu did in fact die, yeah? So we're going to bring a third pasuk, and we're going to try and decide the question based on the third pasuk. If you remember, this is a pasuk which at the toward the end of Parshas Toldos. 1 second, I'll try and find it for you.
Okay.
At the end of Parshas Toldos. שכל גם שניכם יום אחד, right? That that's in Parshas Toldos, Perek Chav Zayin, Pasuk Mem Hey. And the statement that Rivka is making, right? If you want, you could read from the beginning if you want to get the whole picture here, what's going on. From Pasuk Mem Aleph, Chav Zayin, Perek Chav Zayin, chapter 27, verse 41. If you want, you could look at that there if you see it. You can review those psukim.
Let's see, it's about Esau. Esau harbored hatred towards Yaakov
Yeah, go ahead. Keep reading. Keep reading.
because of the blessing with which his father had blessed him. And Esau said to himself, the days of mourning for my father will draw near, then I will kill my brother Yaakov. Continue.
Yeah, go ahead. Till all the way till Pasuk 46.
It was told to Rivka, of the words of her older son Esau, and she sent and summoned Yaakov, her younger son, and said to him, behold, your brother Esau is having second thoughts toward you to kill you. So now, my son, heed my voice. Arise, flee to my brother Lavan to Haran, and dwell with him for a few days until your brother's wrath subsides, until your brother's anger against you subsides, and he forgets what you have done to him. Then I will send and bring you from there. Why should I be bereaved of both of you in the same day?
Oh, so what is Rashi? This last thing, bereaved. What does it mean bereaved for both of you on the same day?
Eshkol is bereaved.
Yeah.
I will be bereaved of both of you. This teaches regarding one who buries his children, i.e., one whose children die during his lifetime, that he is called bereaved. Similarly, with regard to Yaakov, he said, "So I have been bereaved, so I am bereaved."
Gam Shneim. Go ahead. Continue on. Gam Shneim.
Gam Shneim, both of you. If he will rise up against you, and you will kill him, his sons will arise and kill you. The Holy Spirit was thrown into her, and she spoke with divine inspiration. And she prophesied that Yaakov and Esau would die on the same day, as explained in the chapter Hemek Kaner Lishto. So she knew that they would both die on the same day, but she didn't know what day it would be.
Yeah, that's right.
Now that's a little surprising to me, because that's the same problem that the magicians of Egypt had. They knew something was going to happen, but they didn't know all the details.
Right.
I would think the prophecy would have more fidelity than that.
I mean, exactly when it would occur, that's not so significant. When that she would have to know exactly what day it was. That's not really of major significance. The significance is the event itself. But Ruach HaKodesh also, Ruach HaKodesh, that we had that several parshas ago, that Yaakov Avinu saw that there was food in Mitzrayim, but he wasn't able to know that it was Yosef who was doling out the food. So it's very
Yeah.
selective. Ruach HaKodesh is not that carte blanche that you can see and know everything in the universe.
Okay, but in that case, Hashem was specifically withholding that information for a reason. In this case, not only is there no reason to withhold it, but it's very significant. There's a big difference between them both dying tomorrow because they're fighting each other and killing each other, and both of them living to a ripe old age and dying at the same day. It's a huge difference.
Yeah, but I mean, she was concerned that it would happen while she was still alive.
Right.
But that was not the case. It was not going to that was not going to happen when she was still alive. I think she was nifter much earlier than that. The Torah doesn't go into, it doesn't describe when Rivka was nifter. Actually, well, Menikas Rivka. That's another question. When Rivka actually was niftar, that's another question. We don't see much of Rivka after this statement. We don't see much more of Rivka in the Torah, but that's another side. But what is it? Well, what do we see from this? We see that she was having prophecy that they would die in the same day. So
Right.
now, what does that mean? But according to when did Yaakov die? According to the opinion that he'd actually died, when did he die? Yeah, Chanuk
He's
says
147 years old.
yeah, but it was 70 days before his burial, right? The pasuk said they mourned for him 70 days.
Right.
And when did Esav die? Esav died on the day of the burial of Yaakov, which is 70 days later. So they did not die on the same day.
Oh, wow. That's a good point.
So it could be. Let's see what we have on our document. This may be a point that's going to be discussed.
Okay.
But that's what he's quoting. V'hu mikra mefurish lama eshkoil gam shneim biyom echad. Right. So that's a mikra mefurish. It's an open pasuk, open verse. Why Rivka said, "Why shall I be bereaved for both of them on the same day?" And as Rashi says, you go ahead, Rashi, quotes Rashi.
The explanation of Rashi. Veruach Hakadosh Hakodesh Nis Raka Ba Venis Nava Shiviyom Echad Yamusu Kamo Shemifarash Beperech Hamikna. So Rashi explains that it was Ruach HaKodesh. Nizraka means what? To go on her mind?
Yeah, the Nisrakabo that was like Ruach HaKodesh was like poured into her. She had an influx of Ruach HaKodesh.
Came into her, and she prophesied that on one day they would die, like it's explained in the pasuk.
That's in Perik Hamakna. That's a Gemara in Sota Daf Yud Hilim Al Aleph.
Okay. V'hinei the Gemara Sham Kevan Shehagiu Maras Mahamachpela. And we see in the Gemara there, since that They were buried in Marsa Machpelah.
Right. So the Gemara says, "Shamkim Shagiel Lamars Makpera." That this is the whole some of the things we discussed on Erev Shabbos when the funeral procession came to Marsa Makpela.
Right.
Im Aaron Shel Yaakov, along with the Aaron of Yaakov. Go ahead.
With the casket of Yaakov, Atah Asu Ka Me'achav Melach Baro.
Ata Esav Kama Akiv Kiburo Esav came and interrupted the burial.
Interrupted the burial. He said to them, etc. So this is the whole thing about the fight with Esav and his head getting cut off and the whole thing.
Right, yeah, we can read it. That's Mayor. Mayor wasn't with us on Erev Shabbos. He'll appreciate you reading it now.
Oh, so the halach Naftali lahavi star. Naftali ran and got the star and brought the document which proved that Yaakov had purchased the cave or purchased Yesav's portion. Makiras Esav the Yaakov. It was sold by Esav to Yaakov. Kushim Berei Dedan Taman Hu Vayiki Rin Le Odnia Perush. What's this abbreviation? Pei Yud.
Yeah, that Kushim Berei the Dan, Kushim the son of Dan, Taman, he he was who he was Taman. He was wondering. They called out to him, Leudne into his ear. Perish, meaning what does it mean? They called out into his ear. Perish, it means that Kashula Shmoa. He was hard of hearing.
So he was hard of hearing. Shmoa. Below Shama O Haskala, and he didn't hear all of the discussion.
That's right.
Vitare Amar Lahu my hi. He said to them, what's going on? Klomar ma ha ikov peh she'ein kov rim es Yaakov Avinu. That is to say, why aren't you burying Yaakov?
Right, Kush Ben Dan, he was wondering what's the holdup. We came here to bury Yaakov, we had all the Hespedim, now it's time for the burial. Why are we wasting our time? Why are we keeping the grandfather in such terrible suffering that he's not being buried?
Amrulay ka ma'akav hai ad deisi Naftali. they said to him, we're waiting for Naphtali to bring the document. Amar le va'ad de'isi Naphtali me ara de Mitzrayim. He said to them, and until that Naphtali,
They said to Hushim ben Dan, they said we have to wait for Naphtali to come and bring the document from Mitzrayim.
right? And then Don said back to them,
No, well, yeah, Amar le Adasi Naphtali until right. Adasi Naphtali Me'ara di Mitzrayim until Naphtali will come from the land of Egypt. Hey Avi Abba, my grandfather, Mutu Bebezoyim. He's gonna stay here and be disgraced until Naphtali comes back from Mitzrayim.
how long does it take for Naphtali to run back and forth to Mitzrayim? Several days?
Yeah, a normal trip would take 3 days. It would be a normal trip. Round trip would normally be 5 to 6 days.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
The whole time, all these people are just standing around waiting?
Yeah, you're gonna have to set up facilities. People need portable toilets and stuff there. It's gonna be a big thing.
That's right, yeah. Shkal Kulfa Mechaye Arishi Nisrin Ine Shalesav.
Right.
So what does this mean? What's Shkal?
Shoko Klufa, he took a mallet. Shoko, he took a mallet. The kluf is a mallet.
A mallet.
Mallet. Machai Areshe, he clobbered Esav in the head.
And knocked out his eyes?
Yeah, Nitron Einai Shel Esav, and they knocked out the eyes of Esav.
V'naflu akarae de Yaakov.
So and Esav fell onto the knees of Yaakov.
Knees.
Yeah, akroyas are the knees.
Pitachi nehu Yaakov le'enei va'achicha
Va'ech Petichnu Yaakov opened his eyes. Va'ech, and he smiled.
And he smiled. Tichsiv Yismach Tzadik Ki Chaza Nakam Ha'amav or Chatz Bedam Harsha. So he smiled, as it is written, the righteous man is happy because of the what's chazah? Strength?
He sees.
Because he sees the striking of the Yerchatz Badam, the blood of the wicked person.
Yeah, this if you want, let's take a look. This is a pasuk in Tehillim. If you have your Tehillim nearby, it's a pasuk in Kapitel Nun Ches.
Tehillim. What chapter?
Nun Ches, that's 58,
50.
and it's verse 11.
The righteous shall rejoice when he sees the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. So that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous. Verily, there is a God who judges in the earth.
Oh, so Agav, we see here's another proof that there is that tzaddikim do rejoice in the downfall of their enemies.
Even after they're dead.
Yeah, well, that especially when they're dead. There's no greater joy when the enemies are dead
No,
and gone.
No, the righteous is dead.
Well, okay. All right, that'll be part of the question. It was again. Don't forget we're in the middle of the question. Did Yaakov Avinu ever die or not?
Right.
But either way, if he's dead, yeah, he's rejoicing when he's dead, and if he's alive, he's rejoicing when he's alive, right? Yeah, either way, we're in the middle of that question, right?
The Osa Sha'a Niskayama Nivusa Shel Rivka. At that time, the prophecy of Rivka was established. Yichsiv Lama Eskol Gam Shnehem Yom Echad. As it is written, why should I be bereaved for both of them on the same day? The Ayin Rashi, and look at the Rashi, and the Tosfos.
Tosos Shantz.
Shantz.
Shantz, all right.
What's that mean, Shantz?
Oh, that's the name. That's the name of the Tosos. Tosos sometimes Tosos Rabbeinu Tam. Sometimes you have Tosos Re. This is the Tosos Shantz.
Okay, so we've clarified the prophecy of Rivka. That
Right.
they both died on the same day, except you pointed out that it's not the same day.
Yeah, the Gemara actually raises this point. So it says that they were buried. So in the end, they were buried on the same day. But even in fact that Yaakov actually died the 7 days before, but the burial took place on the same day. Could be that the bereavement, the fact that she's bereaved, so it could be the bereavement. Actually, the Avelis doesn't really begin until the actual burial. So it could be that that would be accurate in terms of that aspect. Another point was worth mentioning is that Rivka would be bereaved over the death of Esau, right? So even though if you remember that the pasuk said that Rivka loved Yaakov, right? But we mentioned several times in that context that doesn't mean she didn't love Esau, but the pasuk is going out of its way to tell us that she loved Yaakov. But nevertheless, you see from what she said here that over the death of Esau she would be bereaved. But again, I'm not sure. This the technical point. I'm not sure if she was alive at the time of the burial of Yaakov. Not so sure. I tend to doubt it. Okay. Let's go on to paragraph 6 if everything in paragraph 5 is okay.
V'hinei lemadnu han shnei divarim chada Yaakov Avinu le'achar bo'o le'eretz Yisrael kavar harbe zaman. And we see that to learn from here two things. One, that Yaakov, our father, after he came to Eretz Yisrael, after much time.
Zman Chanate, right? After we see one thing, we see that Yaakov Avinu, after he came to Eretz Yisrael, was Kavar Harbe Zman Acher Chanata, like it was a long time after his embalmment, right? That was 70 days after his embalmment began, right?
Ah, right. Pesach Einav Ushchak al Sharia Nikma Bison O. He opened his eyes. What is shchach?
So he was gladdened.
And he was glad concerning what is Sharay?
Rosh, that he saw Nekama Besonav, he saw the vengeance taken from his enemy.
Right. Okay. So two things. One is it was a long time after he was embalmed. And two, he opened his eyes, so therefore he wasn't even really dead.
Right.
Gam niskayama nevi os Rivka. Also, it established the prophecy of Rivka. Lama eskol gam shenechem. Why should I be reread for both of them? V'halo Yaakov Mace Kama Chadashim. And is it not that Yaakov died many months? Kodem, before the Mitzrayim in Egypt?
Right. Was it not that Yaakov died many months beforehand in Mitzrayim?
Ella in Cain. Rather, Yaakov lo mace Ella shekevan shebiyom hazeh. That Yaakov did not die except that since this day, Nis nohu b'ma'ara b'yom shemes.
Po Esav, rather Ella Shekaven Shebiyom Hazen Nisnu B'Myra B'Yom Shemeis Po Esav. Rather, since it was on that day that he was put into the Myra, on that self same day that Esav was died.
What's the Myra?
The Myra is a cave.
Oh, the cave. Okay. Niskayama Niv Osa, it established the prophecy, Lama Eshkol Gam Shneichem, B'yom Shibayom Echad. Why should I be bereaved on the same day for two of them? Nik Baru Uve Mitzrayim Sheshachav Yaakov. What's Nik Baru?
Nikbar is to be buried.
Buried. That one day, that the same day they'll be buried. And in Egypt, what is Shishakav?
Shachav is to be laid to rest.
Laid to rest. In Egypt, Yaakov was laid to rest. Lo mikre misa klal rak b'shas kivoros Esav. It's not written that he died at all, only at the time of the burial of Esav. Hashkava, and he was laid to rest. The minuchas for contentment. Avinu Yaakov, our father Yaakov, l'chaim, to live. Ba'ohavei,
Ba'olam haba.
ba'olam haba, in olam haba, the Esav lidrachu.
L'darchu, and Asa went his way.
Esav went his way. Ella de'im kain mivo ar dehachanita sham lo haisa kamo she'omrim ha-mifarshim de'im lakhu mimenu. But accordingly, what is Mavoar?
It's explained.
It explains that the embalming there was not like that they say those who explain that if what's likhu,
That it's the embalming that was there in Mitzrayim. Lo Ezekimo from Meforshim. It wasn't like those that are saying those Meforshim. The im lokhu, if they took from him chas v'sholem, if they took from him Yaakov Avinu chas v'sholem.
oh, they took his organs.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like that.
Right.
Chas v'sholem. Hames v'halev, hamoach v'halev v'haveni me ayim. the brain and the heart and the intestines and the eyes, Benish R, and the other Aven domain Hayar Hayach Uvata Ro'eh Uftoach Enav. I don't know. I need help.
It's not like those. We see that it wasn't Tasashom that they took from him the brain, the lave, the intestines, and the rest of his Venisha ke Evan Doimim, and he remained like a Evan Doimim is like a inanimate rock, right? Because if that would be the case, Ubama Royev Upatakinov, Liskok Me'esav. Because if that would be the case, that he took all these things from him, how could it be that he saw and he opened his eyes in order to he should be happy over what happened to Esau?
Well, that's difficult, Rabbi, because you could ask that on a lot of levels. He's been dead for a week. So how can he open his eyes after he's been dead for a week?
Well, that's the point. The point is we're discussing whether or not, in fact, he died or not, right? But there's a secondary question. The secondary question is, was the embalmment that took place, right? Was it a normal embalmment, which involved taking out all the organs and such, or was the Yaakov left intact, right? So if you want to say that he took out all his internal organs, right? So then it's very hard to say, even impossible to say that he was still alive, right? If his body was still intact, so then there's still as fantastic and amazing as it may seem, there's still a fantastic, amazing way you could still explain that he was still alive. But that's only on the condition that he still had his whole body intact in a way he could possibly live.
After a week, he hasn't been given food or water for a week.
No, it's more than a week. It's been 70 days.
Yeah, so that would seem to be equally impossible.
Well, one's reasonably impossible and one's unreasonably impossible.
You know what you remind me of, Rabbi?
Yeah, go ahead.
In mathematics,
Yeah,
there's a principle, infinity. Nothing's bigger than infinity, right?
right.
Infinity plus 1 equals infinity.
Mhm.
So they identified two kinds of infinities.
Right.
Infinity of the natural numbers.
Okay.
The natural numbers go from 1 to infinite number.
Right.
That's an infinite amount. And the rational numbers. The rational numbers that includes fractions.
Uh-huh.
For each number in the first set, the natural numbers, there's an infinite number of numbers, because you can have 1.1, 1.11, 1.111, 1.2, 1.3, etc. There's an infinite number of fractions in between each of the elements of the natural numbers. So that's a bigger infinity, quote, bigger. So
Right.
what do they call it? They say that the first infinity is a countable infinity, and the second infinity is an uncountable infinity.
Uh-huh. Oh, That's exactly what, that's exactly what I meant.
You reminded me of that. It's like,
Okay.
what does that mean?
Okay.
But actually,
Very good.
they do things
Yeah.
with that. I don't remember
Yeah.
what they do with it, but they do something with that fact.
Mhm. All right.
Higher
So,
mathematics.
very good. But I could actually, Hanukkah wanted to point out a point here. You want to say something?
Moshe Rabbeinu went 40 days without water.
Can't hear.
Moshe Rabbeinu went 40 days without food and water. Still lived.
Yeah, so Hanukkah is pointing out that we see by Moshe Rabbeinu that there was a possibility of him going 40 days and 40 nights without eating or sleeping or drinking. So again, it's like it's in the realm of the fantastic, but it's certainly within the possibilities of amazingness. So that's what he's pointing out, because his again, he's dealing with two questions. One, how do we understand the Yaakovina was not he did not die, and then you have to deal with the question of his actual involvement and what type of the technical question of what type of involvement took place, right?
Right.
I mean, again, I don't know what the process of, even if you say that he was not embalmed in the normal Egyptian process, which involved removing the major internal organs, but even if he was just, I don't know, somehow preserved with these different herbs and spices and medications. So I mean, I don't know if he was completely immersed in all these things, or and then even then, let's say he was immersed in all these things. So it's also person needs to, like you're pointing out, person needs to breathe. Under normal conditions, he should have to eat something, maybe. Right? So again, we're dealing with something in the realm of miracle at this point. So we have to understand that there is various miracles on different levels taking place here. So so we're still in the middle of this, but we'll have a chance tomorrow to maybe we'll review this paragraph number 6. We didn't finish the paragraph number 6, but maybe we'll restart and do a review of that tomorrow. Let's take a break in the meantime a bit, and
Okay.
start Mr. Brewer in a short while.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay.
Thank you, Roy.
Ishkayach, Lou.
Baruch Tiyad, Mayor.